Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of the Final Fantasy Legend 2. When we last left off, we had just got the Hyper Cannon. It's a unique item in that you can use it to defeat any enemy, non-boss enemy or non-boss enemy group. It defeats them instantly. Only has 3 uses. If you equip it on your robot, it'll be cut down to 1 use. Yeah, when it gets cut in half, it doesn't round up, it rounds down. But it is effectively a one-time use then to take out any troublesome encounter that you have. So a lot of people do that to be able to take out with ease the Honeywa, which is the super monster in this game. It's a non-boss monster, so the Hyper Cannon works on it. And that's the monster that can drop the best sword in the game, the 7th sword. You don't need the Hyper Cannon though to take out that monster, because as long as you use some strategy and build up your party correctly, you'll be able to defeat the Honeywa normally. So I will not be using the Hyper Cannon because it doesn't give any stats to your robot other than hit points. So I'll use it once or twice just to show it off what it does, but it's not a viable long-term weapon. So now I misread my notes back when P first turned into Wraith. I said basically, you know, we're gonna have to eat another meat then to turn into the ice crab. We're actually gonna have to eat 2 meats. The first one is going to be some dragon meat, which this battle we're going to get. I'm recording the commentary post video. So yeah, once we defeat the dragon, unfortunately P's going to devolve. Eating the dragon meat will turn P into an evil pine, a tree monster. As you can see, lost a lot of hit points. And the evil pine, that was a monster that was in Shogun's World. So yeah, it's a de-evolution, and the abilities that the evil pine has are worse than the abilities that the Wraith had. But all we need is you know, just one more meat to transform into that ice crab that we saw. So the ice crab is on par with level wise with the Wraith monster. So, but in order to transform into that, we're going to have P eat some Naga meat. So the good thing is Nagas are pretty common on the next floor, and we've also run into some Nagas on this floor, so we will be able to get that meat easily. So spoiler, we'll end up getting it on this floor. So yeah, P don't have too many more battles to go as the evil pine now, so he'll be turning back into his crabby self. So it's been a while since he's been a crab, like almost 3 episodes. So we're almost back at the place where the road split, the fork in the road. So there's the Naga that we want to drop meat. You know, the only really good ability that Honeymouse has, I mean not Honeymouse, that P has there, is that wind up. It can paralyze a group of enemies. So because the other, that branch, is just a single target strength-based attack, and not really going to deal a lot of damage. So better to just try to same with the branch, better to just try to paralyze group enemies and, you know, do crowd control. So bash and branch. Huge toad, that's not what we want. We wanted the Naga's meat. Boo! Now, I got rid of those potions earlier, and I moved, even though Cure's a really good ability, I moved it to the bottom of the stack just so I can have the heal ability there, because if, just in case somebody gets turned to stone or blinded, we'll have the ability to remove that negative status effect. So Cure is a low-level ability. It's a level 1 ability, so it's potentially easy to get and recover if we do end up losing it. So, and we have so much money that you know, if we don't end up getting that cure ability, well, we can always just buy cure books or the heal staff. Heal staff basically, like other staffs, targets an entire group, but because it's a healing staff, it targets our entire party, so it's a cure book for the entire party, so that's really good for endgame, so. Got another treasure chest up here. Ooh. And of course another random encounter, but it's a good random encounter because it has the Naga enemy, and remember that's the one that we want to encounter and have it drop its meat. Big toad. Huge toad. Not a big toad, a huge toad. This is turned into Battletoads. Battletoads is an old Nintendo game, and your characters were toads, and they were their main enemies was a group of rats. So they'd fight rats, and well, now it's like opposite, with the exception of Honey Mouse. Linus, Vincent, and P are all named after rats, and now we got toads fighting them. So Battletoads is notoriously famous for being one of the most difficult Nintendo games. So I never had it, but I had some friends who had it and played it. So I did not beat it because, like I said, it was very challenging, and since I didn't own it, I couldn't, spend days or weekends playing it, so I was only able to play it when I was over a friend's house, so. Got another tent. We'll put that to use to heal up all our charges eventually, and it's an easy item to use and clear up inventory space if we need to. Another Naga. Let's get some meat. This Naga group of enemies will be dropping some meat, so woohoo! We'll finally get to have P be the crab again. It's a good thing I kept that flame mana, the Magi, on P, because both the Wraith and the Tree have weaknesses to fire, so Tree obviously makes sense that it would be weak to fire, because, forest fires. Smokey the Bear, remember, only you can prevent forest fires, folks. Oh, let's finish this battle off. Woohoo! Naga's meat. Let's eat that meat and turn P back to his crabby self. Yay! Now we can move P up in the order. So P is back on par with these monsters. So because we actually ran into some ice crabs in this dungeon on the 6th floor. So P will be able to keep up with the monsters that we're fighting here. So woohoo! Oh no, P was poisoned. Well, not too much damage. Poison is an ability that or status ailment that will disappear at the end of the battle, so we don't necessarily need to use the heal, Vincent's heal, to remove it. Oh. So, interesting, P finally has like I said, a multi-targeting attack with the Blizzard, and also has a single target attack. Most crabs only had that W pincher, the 2 claws. Now this PS has a tusk. So it's a weaker attack, but, if you don't necessarily need the full damage of the W pincher, you can use the tusk. So the other ability there is the Paraskin. It'll say like P is waiting for the attack, and if anything attacks P, then if it's using the Paraskin, it will paralyze the enemy. So see that cockatrice attack P with its nail, it would be like cockatrice attacks P with nail, P counters with paraskin, cockatrice is paralyzed. So not too very useful of an ability because, you know, might as well just use P to attack. Uh-oh, P lost his sight. Quit picking on P. Maybe that's why he's crabby, because monsters are picking on him. But hey, even though we got rid of that eye drop, see, that's why I moved the heal up there, so I wouldn't potentially lose it, and having a way to heal negative status effects that don't disappear after battle. We got Flare, the most powerful. Yeah, I don't need to use most strongest, because strongest is already the superlative EST, and most is also, so the most powerful spell in the game. Hits every enemy for massive damage. I believe it's your mana times 13. So the mutant like Vincent can actually get that ability as a normal spell, but that spell has a slightly lower modifier, damage modifier, than the book. So it's kind of like how an ice spell from a mutant or a monster is less powerful than a book. Like I said, I think the book is times 13, and the spell, if you use it as an ability, is times 11. So it's either that or the book might be 15 and the spell is 13. I'm pretty sure that it's the former though, so maybe I can look it up while we're waiting here. So while I'm in a background tab, so because we still have a little bit more of the nasty dungeon to go here, so finished up that samurai bow. Got a lot of good uses out of it, so yeah, no, Flare is, the book is mana times 13. Just looked it up on RPG Classics. Oh, we're still out of inventory, but hey, we used up that, we did use up that, samurai bow, so we have an inventory space. A glass sword. That's, it does a lot of damage, but like I said, it's only a one-use item, so you can use it once to do massive damage. It's a little over 1,000 damage to an enemy, but it's a one-time usage, so it's not all that good. I'm just gonna equip it probably just to use it to show it off. So it's not like I'm hurting for money and I need to sell it to you know, make money. But I should be ordering my stuff around here a little bit. So moving things around. That cat claw will end up replacing that with the Gungnir spear when we get it, and then we'll be able to pass it on to pass it down to Linus or Vincent to help work on their agility. So we got another surprise attack. Woohoo! Let's see. There's our blizzard. And Vincent still has his samurai bow there to use. Take care of some things. Should finish off all the frogs, which are surprisingly not weak to blizzard. Most reptiles tend to be weak against blizzard or ice-based spells, but not the huge toad. So maybe this might take out the F-flower group. Yep. So it took out everyone. Way to go, P. And we got a lousy rocket. We got one of them back in Apollo's world as a treasure chest, so definitely an obsoleted weapon. We'll just toss it. So, yeah, if we find out we need more inventory space, that's a likely candidate to get tossed, because it's not going to sell for a lot of money, and it's not a weapon that we can really use effectively at this point in the game. And it's, you know, so weak and underpowered. So, I'm just running from a few of these encounters here because we've seen all these monsters, and just want to get out of here. So, there's another interesting item, the Nuke Bomb. It's a one-time use item, and basically it's a flare spell for non-mana users. So we throw a nuclear bomb and it does damage like a flare spell. So let's show it off. Might as well. I mean, it's not really all that good against bosses, so I might as well use it up against a regular group of enemies here. So clear them out pretty good. Yeah, and combined with, you know, P's Blizzard spell, finished them all off. So yeah, I just saw it did about like 500, close to 600 damage, about 550, 560. So we can use other abilities to. Oh, well, inventory's full, so. Alright, heal ourselves up with the tent. Yeah, we finally get that spear. Woohoo! Replace that cat claw. And that cat claw can then go down to Linus to work on his agility some more. And the Gungnir got another 32 strength there to Honey Mouse, putting her strength now at 90. So she's basically made her transition into a strength-based robot. So now the Gungnir never misses, so it didn't matter if we have agility. But agility is nice to have because, hey, it allows you to go ahead of enemies. And you only have 15 uses on the Gungnir, so sometimes people have to use a different strength-based weapon like the Defense Sword or the Sun Sword, so it's good to have that extra agility. Even if you don't have a lot of strength, I mentioned this in an earlier episode, the Gungnir is pretty good because it has a built-in damage thing. It does a lot of damage even without strength. It's just that it gets an extra bonus if you have strength over 70. So, which obviously Honey Mouse does, so that extra 20 points of strength over the 70 is just going to add extra some bonus damage. But even without strength, you can you might be able to, you know, one-shot some groups of enemies. Maybe not these final type monsters, but, you know, probably ones back in, you know, the Edo world with Shogun. So maybe the ones at the first few floors of the Nasty Dungeon. And speaking of the first floors of the Nasty Dungeon, on the first floor of the Nasty Dungeon, remember we ran into that fairy who basically warned us that this dungeon is really nasty. Well, we're going to run into her again at the very end here. And she's going to say, like, hey, was this dungeon nasty? And we're going to we'll be given a choice. We can say yes or no. I'm going to save the game before I make the choice, before I answer, and I'll show off what both choices do. But another interesting thing about the Nasty Dungeon here, it's kind of like going to be like that, the Cave of Light back in Apollo's world, where when we exit it, we're going to exit it for the same way we entered. So let's save our game here. I can show off what happens. So, see, it was nasty like I told you, wasn't it? If we say no, she says, then here, some more, and she warps us back to the 5th floor. Now, if this happens, you can just use your Pegasus Magi to warp out of the Nasty Dungeon. There's no more floors to the Nasty Dungeon. Basically, once you reach that fairy, you've completed the Nasty Dungeon. So, but we'll just reset here, so I can answer yes that it was nasty, and see her dialogue when we affirm that yes, this place was nasty. So, So now, if you're playing the remake, the 3DS remake of this, you're gonna have to basically say that it's nasty. Because if you say yes, she says, "I told you so," and she disappears. But when you exit the dungeon after that, it opens up a new, like, kind of bonus area. And that bonus area, it's like a place where you can fight old bosses for, and, you know, stronger versions of old bosses for potentially some really good equipment. So, yeah, a lot of the stuff we couldn't get, you can only get, like in this version, you can only get, you know, in the nasty dungeon or in the final dungeon, like you only get like one parachute, only 2 parachutes, that Gungnir spear, you can get 2 of them, one from the nasty dungeon, and Odin, who the Gungnir spear, in, you know, mythology, that's Odin's spear, the Gungnir. We're gonna fight Odin, spoiler, and he can drop the Gungnir spear, so that's the way you can get a second Gungnir spear. That's the only way to get 2 in this game, but, you know, in the remake you can get multiple Gungnir spears, you know, through that special place, after you clear the nasty dungeon. But that doesn't exist in this version of the game, so doesn't matter if you say yes or no. Either way, you reach that fairy, you've cleared the nasty dungeon, so congratulations. And congratulations for sticking around. We'll put some of that hard-earned gold that we earned to finally buy some healing staffs, so. And we'll finally be able to move on with the plot of the game in next episode. Take care, have a good day. Bye!